Hey, we're going to take a look at this Learning Target K A-level project. Basically, what you have to do is build a floor plan for your house or your apartment, wherever you live. Just have to do one floor. And to kind of give you a feel for what this is going to look like, I'm going to lay out my classroom and kind of the first floor of the new wing. If you haven't been in my classroom before, my name is Mr. Sauter. You're welcome to peek your head in, but first, second, and third floor in the new wing all look the same. So take a look around wherever you're at, and you'll kind of get a feel for what I'm doing. So here's the project. When you're done with the scale model, you're going to do some calculations on carpet size. We need to add 10% for kind of just extra needed space to get around cuts and corners and things like that. It's going to be $3.45 a square foot. Carpet comes in a lot of different sizes, but I did a quick Home Depot check, and that's what I found. All right, so let's take a look at what a scale model would look like. What I've got here is kind of a rough layout of my classroom. So this is my room. I've got a cabinet that's built in, so we're not going to pull those up or move them around a carpet underneath them. They're built in. Then we kind of go in a little bit. Here's my door. So I've got a little wall along here. Then I've got a door. And then it goes out into the locker banks. There's lockers all the way around the outside here, of course, but then there's a locker bank on the inside. And then this goes on to Miss Haas's room here. Then we've got the stairwell, some double doors there, and it basically repeats on the other side. It's a mirror image the other way where Miss Olson and Mr. Anderson are. And this is, again, the same thing all the way up. So what are we going to do? Well, let's just look at my room. Basically, we need to make a rough sketch first. This is all stuff that you want to include when you turn into your teacher, but basically we need to know some measurements. So I took some pictures as I went around the room and I measured them. So my first wall right here, the wall facing towards the parking lot, the staff parking lot, this is 31 feet. So that long wall is 31 feet right there. Then I just continued around the room. The front of my room, all the way up until the cabinet, is 27 feet. And then the side against the cabinet, this is where things get a little bit interesting. From the edge of the cabinet to the wall, that is 15.25 feet. Right? Then from the cabinet to kind of that little, I don't know, indent, you may want to call it, right there, goes back. That distance is 10 feet. And then that little indent right there is 5 3/4 or 5.75 feet. Okay. And then it also goes in, the cabinets stick out. The cabinets stick out 2 feet. And this little indent goes in 1.75 or 1.25 feet. Okay? And so as you go around and measure those things, you just want to put them on your diagram here. So I know that this is going to be 31 feet. I know that this is 27 feet. I know that this cabinet length of wall here is 15.25. The cabinets stick out 2 feet. This is 10 feet. Okay, it indents 1.75 feet. I didn't show a picture of it, but my back wall is 30.75 feet. Okay, and so really all of those things should match up. If I were to take 27 plus the 2 plus the 1.75 there, I think it does match up pretty close to 30.75. And if the room's a little out of square, you know, that's just how it goes. Okay, but this is not quite a to-scale model yet. What you're going to want to do is get some graph paper and identify a scale. So my longest length is 31, so I need to fit that on my graph paper somewhere. Okay, so I'll find some graph paper, and maybe I'll say that one length of square, as I zoom in on it, one length of square is going to equal 3 feet. How about that? Okay, so one length of square is going to equal 3 feet. So if I have to stretch this wall 31 feet, that means that I need to go 10 squares and then a third of a square. So I will start my wall here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a third. Now, if you can't get it exactly a third, that's not a big deal. But you'll want to mark this as 31 feet, and you need to keep the scales the same. So my front is 27. 27 divided by 3 means that I'm going to have to go 9 squares. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? And that's kind of the start of my cabinets. It's 15 and a quarter up, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was 27. This was 15 and a quarter feet. Now it was 2 feet back, which is not going to be quite a full square. And then I had to go another 10 inches, which is going to be 3, 6, 9, and a little bit more. And then I needed to go 1.25 feet, 3/4, so it looked like that. And then another 5 feet, which would leave us right around here. This connects back, and I have my first room. Add your measurements as you go and just continue to try to build. Here we have a hallway. Measure your length and then build that with your squares. Once you have it on the graph paper, depending on your room and the layout of your house, it's going to be easiest then to find these lengths breaking up into rectangles. Most houses are going to just be split up into rectangles and maybe squares. So you can find the area then. Instead of trying to find the area before, you might as well just wait until you have a nice diagram with all your measurements on it.